This is Monsters on the Mic on the Fan 106.5, giving you exclusive insider access to coaches and players for Duluth's Minnesota Monsters football team. Recorded weekly at Lyric Kitchen Bar in downtown Duluth. Now here's your hosts, Brian Prudhomme and Dave Cook.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Monsters on the Mic. It's the home opener edition. Brian Prudhomme, Dave Cook. Dave, let's just start with that because it felt good to say home opener edition. This team finally gets to play at home.
That's right. We finally get to see this team play in front of the home fans, in front of all the time they've spent in the schools, getting the kids excited, getting families excited. Now we start to see that payoff.
Now we know the city's excited. We know the fan base is excited. How excited are the players? I think we're going to get the barometer of that over the next hour.
Oh, I got to believe the players are like, okay, listen, we don't have to travel anymore. We can take this week off anyway from traveling and stay home and feel just like we're doing our regular routine. I think there'll be a few players that are okay with that.
That's pretty fair. Now, my question for you is this. We get to know personalities of different players in different positions. You played offensive line, correct?
Yep.
Do offensive linemen get excited?
Yes.
Yeah.
We just have to maintain that level of sobriety for everybody else can get excited because we just have a job to do.
Interesting choice of words. I promise I'm just drinking a Coca-Cola for this show, but let's go to an offensive lineman that's part of the Monsters. Let's get to Toree. Boy, Toree, welcome home, man. You get to play at home. How does that feel just to hear that?
Finally, it feels great. Don't have to worry about traveling. I'm definitely excited to come to Duluth, first home game. So get to see the fans, and I'm just excited for the opportunity. So
I think excitement is the operative word. So let's talk about practices this week. What's it been like just to be in that building? See Amsoil with the turf, be ready to go.
It's been great. Just breaking in the field, getting the feel of see how the walls and pads and the nets and different things like that. So, just so we finally get to feel at home. Like we've been on the road
for a month.
Quite for a month. Michigan was our home for 2 games. So we just, just for aiding aspects, with the uprights and things like that, being able to practice in that arena is feel quite amazing.
I like that he brought up Aiden because we found out, based on the last show, that we can speak things into existence.
Take our wins.
So I'm expecting, no pressure, but perfection from Aiden Johnson might be the key.
Well, it certainly should feel at home. Like that's got to be his goal, right? Because never mind.
Let's talk about the beauty of playing offensive line. I'm going to go from a former offensive lineman to a current one. Now, with arena football, there's 2 different ways that I look at this. Number one, it's so fast. If you miss a block, you've missed and you're in big trouble. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, if you're quick enough, you shouldn't have to hold your block very long. Tell me about what the offensive line is like in this league.
Being that the offensive line, the game is a lot faster. The defensive linemen, they have to make their moves a lot faster. But sometimes knowing that the ball is getting out fast is quite a little bit pressure off for you compared to outdoor, knowing that, if the quarterback still has the ball, there's a high chance you gave up a sack. So with the arena, with that, half of the time, if you do miss on a punch or something like that,
in a hurry, right?
You can bank that your quarterback got the ball out. So.
And it's quick, but you still know when the ball's snapped. Everybody else might guess, you know.
Definitely.
Well, and that's kind of where I wanted to go because everybody talks about quarterbacks have to have the internal clock. I get the feeling, so do you.
Yeah, with me being the center, it's quite a lot of pressure because I have one of the hardest jobs making the calls and just making sure the ball gets back to him.
Right.
In quite times in a good amount of time. So.
Sure.
Well, let's make sure it gets back to him accurately because I'm going to go right to Dave Cook.
We're going to do this.
Because we cover football at so many levels, collegiately, prep, arena, and we talk about, a bad snap throws off the timing of everything.
Yep.
So you are literally the beginning of the play, but you are the beginning of something good or something not so good.
Yeah, correct.
If there's motion in a play, man, if that snap doesn't get to the hands when it's supposed to, somebody's going to be in the wrong spot. Nothing good's going to happen.
Definitely.
We said it to long snapper once last year. We said that ball took so long to get here and was so high, it's frosted when it got to the punter.
Yeah. So I do the long snapping too for Aiden. So it's just like
what it is.
Yeah, knowing that I touch the ball first. So if the ball comes off my hand wrong, half of the time I know if the snap high or low, or because I could feel it, being that I've been doing it quite a long time. So.
Well, tell us about that. Tell us about the journey being the center of attention on this team, but how did you get here?
I played almost every position, being that I was a journeyman. I got a stint with the Atlanta Falcons coming out of college. Then I had got released. Went through quite a bit of depression, and had a mentor, brought me into arena. And then ever since then, I've been on a journey. Played in Bismarck, North Dakota, and then I got drafted into the USFL playing arena. So I know it's possible. So definitely, it's quite fun to me. So
I get the feeling that Toree Boyd enjoys everything. That's just a vibe I get from him right now.
Well, it sounds to me like Toree's had quite a journey, and it'd be really interesting to hear more about that journey, getting to Bismarck and then seeing a step. Anytime you get a chance to think, I'm going to get out of Bismarck, usually that comes with a smile on your face.
And being that he saw Bismarck, it takes away the easy question, because I normally think, okay, about 55 degrees in Duluth in the middle of May. Yeah. How are you adjusting to that? If you've been in Bismarck, North Dakota, I don't want to say it's old hat, but it's close.
Yeah, it's close, but Duluth is quite different. I seen snow about 2 weeks ago. So
you're not supposed to. That's odd even for us.
I literally think about that all the time. Like, why is it still cold?
Why am I?
I hope
here?
we're not having this discussion when you're here in July. Why is it still cold? Because that lake can do a lot of things. Yeah. But I need to ask about your position again, because the accuracy of the snap is so imperative. But then at the same time, you've got a lineman ready to pop you the second that ball is released.
Yeah.
How quickly can you shift your focus, and how quickly do you basically have to?
You got to shift your focus very quick. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of times knowing that, I have to snap the ball fast, being that I want to replace it and bring my hand back up, being that the guy is coming off the ball, but knowing that I know the snap count, it helps me, you know what I'm saying, quite a bit. And knowing that if the tendencies of the D lineman, so if I know he's one of the ones that like to jump, so I'll ask my quarterback change the cadence or things like that.
That's the buzzword in this league.
Yeah.
Defenders have said tendencies. Mm-hmm. Offensive players have said tendencies. Do a lot of players telegraph these, or you just that's smart, that's cerebral?
I pay attention to a lot of those. Being that I'm a vet now, so I pay attention to a lot of different things with the tendencies, or how they feed, or how they line, or shoot just based off of the defensive end alignment. So being that I'm the centerpiece of the O-line, I look at all of it, like, to help my buddies out. So.
Right. What's the biggest difference mechanically or fundamentally, snapping to a quarterback versus snapping for your kicker?
Being that with snapping to my kicker, I can see him. I can see the long snapper. The holder and things like that.
He's at eye level.
So the whole time I'm looking at them. So it's not as hard. But, like in overtime, doing that snap for Aiden, it was quite some pressure, like knowing that this is the one. Like, extra points, it'd be a little different. But when it's the game on the line, the ball touched my hand first. So
the nerves of steel. We talk about the quarterback's got to be ready. The kicker's got to have ice in his veins. Yeah. So does the center. Go ahead, Dave.
Absolutely. Long snapping is especially when there's money on the table.
Mm-hmm. It's a systematic idea, yeah.
But my question is, and I know at some levels, there is some protection to the long snapper. So when you snap the ball, are you fair gamed? Are there rules that they can or cannot do to you?
Well, they cannot hit me while my head is down. Yep. So if I was to have my head up, then, it's fair game. But being that I keep my head down, they cannot touch me. So that's the only safe part about that. So
we always talk about passes in any sport. Hit them in the numbers. Your holder for a kicking situation, you can see. Mm-hmm. For a quarterback, are you just looking at Javante's big number 5, or what are you shooting for?
I'm shooting for basically like his hand. Well, depends. Well, when I'm at center, I try to get it right here at the bin between him and Tyreek, which is the height of the quarterback. So that's what I just mostly get adjusted to. Like, just pay attention to where they want the ball. So I ask them how you want the ball. So I snap different for both of them. So what's the name? J5 like to hold the ball on the laces. So I turn the ball different for him to where
Yeah.
Toree, just fresh out of college, he like it differently. So.
Sure. J5 is catching on. That's Javonte Johnson, by the way.
So you
QB1 is now J5 for those that aren't on the uptick.
So if you are a kid listening to this and you think center is a way to go, or long snapping, which, by the way, is a great way to go if you want to go further into the sport, you are adjusting the football in your hands way before you snap it for the liking of the person. So explain how that works.
Yeah, so basically, if I'm under center and I know he liked the ball with the laces, I'll turn it. You know what I'm saying? Like turn my hand to where it's comfortable for him to roll out and things like that.
Yeah.
So, and then some quarterbacks, they are more in, then some more out. So being that, I learned to see if my quarterback, one of the ones that like to retreat faster, so I bring my hand back faster, or I bring it all the way up my butt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so so it all depends on the feel of how they're like between the two different. So meaning that I have two quarterbacks, I have to learn the two different styles.
Right.
And
In
things like that.
in your hand, though, is it always the same, or do you move it around in your hand?
No, so I move it around basically just based off of who's at the quarterback.
Got it.
That's how I adjust how my snaps and things like that.
Of course.
Yep.
So we've talked a ton about the art of the snap because it's,
You got
let's
two
just say it,
centers.
it's the most important part of the beginning of a play. But let's talk about the rest of it because you do have to hold a block, throw a block. If a play is taking a little bit longer to develop, are you worried about being illegally downfield, that kind of thing? What goes through your mind during the duration of a play after the hard part of feeding your quarterback is over?
I mean, with me, how I play the game with aggression. So the hardest part for me is just making sure the ball gets to him. So that's my number one thing on my mind. As long as I know he got the ball, everything else is fair game. I don't worry about nothing else.
Sure.
So I just believe in my technique and things like that. So
What about worrying where your offensive line teammates are? Because the center essentially is the captain of the offensive line.
Correct.
How much traffic are you directing in addition to snapping the football?
I mean, once I trust my brother, so like we go through the practice and things like that. So once I makes my call to where they know what they have to do, you know what I'm saying, they believe in me. My job is to make sure my two tackles just run the guys upfield, and you know what I'm saying, and me and the fullback, my job is to make sure the guy stays on line so my quarterback have good view. So
I know that we have a show on Saturday mornings, the Northland Sports page, and we have a guest that comes on every so often. He's an old NFL player. And he said to us once that the hardest thing for a center is to not have to worry about being guards too.
yeah.
So as a center, do you ever worry about, gosh, I can't think of what these other guys are doing. I have to play my position because if I play theirs too, I'm going to do mine poorly?
Me being that I played almost every position, so being that I played every position, I kind of know what everybody's doing.
Okay.
Because I'm one of the guys, I consider myself an athlete.
Yeah.
So I played guard, fullback, center. So I moved around. Normally, when I played on like different teams, I go after the best guy.
Sure.
So I would switch positions based off of that. But me on this team, I believe that I believe in my gunner, Kyler, Big Lee. You know what I'm saying? I believe in my guys, so I don't have to do any of their jobs.
But I have to ask one question because I heard fullback. So is there part of you that wants to hear Toree Boyd the ball carrier at some point this season?
I mean, yeah, but
Pass catcher.
Yeah, I mean, a pass catcher, you know, in camp I did
Anything
it a little
up your
bit.
sleeve that we hope we see as this season goes on?
I mean, I tell my receivers I got the best hands on the team. But, you know.
I bet that goes over super well with this group.
Quarterback better say yes to that.
Yeah, my quarterback knows right now.
Say he values your hands maybe more than anybody.
Right now, the O-line, we up right now.
Well, I got to say that I wanted to ask that as well in terms of the practices because this D-line, we've talked about them, we've talked to them a lot. They have a lot to say about how much they run the show for this team. The offensive line obviously is doing its job as well. I kind of want to see these two go head-to-head with their teammates. What are practices like for you guys?
Practice are intense, being that, you know, on the other side, they alpha males, and just like us, O-line, we don't take no crap from nobody. Like, we
the
run the
FCC
yard.
appreciated that. He was good in radio. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, we, you know what I'm saying, we run the yard. Like, that's how I feel. Like, shoot. When I'm on defensive side, I tone up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Being that I'm on both sides. But when I'm on offense, knowing that, this is my offense. So
Right.
we don't take no crap from nobody.
All right, so we can talk about intensity of practices all day long. Last question for you, though, is in the end, you guys are teammates.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody we've talked to has talked about what makes us good is not just our talent, but our camaraderie.
Yeah.
What is this like as a group?
We bond very well together. That's the funny part about it. Like, we literally spend time with each other, go bowling, go out, just, get some food and things like that. We spend a lot of time with each other. So being that we are a close-knit group, we able to, be aggressive and things like that, but we also know how to practice to take care of each other. So we don't, you know what I'm saying, we not one with the passive group, oh, this person feels sorry for each other. No. Everybody, if you bull crapping, everybody get called out.
Yeah.
So.
I can appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Toree Boyd. That's segment 1 of this week's Monsters on the Mic. Up next, the Rising of the Phoenix. Stick around. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Monsters on the Mic. We're at Lyric Kitchen Bar. Again, if you're not familiar with how this works, Brian Prudhomme, Dave Cook, it is Wednesday as we do this. But as you hear it, it's either Thursday or game day.
Yeah.
I say game day because that day of the week varies a little bit too.
Yeah, you're going to get to hear this recording live on Thursdays, and then you're going to get to hear this recording live right up to game time.
Absolutely. So a live recording on Wednesdays at Lyric Kitchen Bar. We invite you to come down and check it out. It airs on Thursday, and then we are the pregame to the pregame, which of course this week is Friday Night Lights, if you will.
Yeah, we get to go get Nashville here in Duluth.
Absolutely. The game in Duluth, and I said prior to the break, it's the Rising of the Phoenix because everybody told me you got to get a load of Phoenix Sproles, so we're about to. So Phoenix, first of all, welcome. But secondly, tell me about your game because a lot of people have raved about you. I want to hear about it from you. What are Duluth fans going to be anticipating from you?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, just want to say thank you guys for having me on the show.
Absolutely.
It's good to be back home, back in Minnesota. Obviously not Duluth is my home, but now it will be. I'm excited to be back here and excited to show what I can do as a football player, as a teammate, and as a person. What Duluth fans are going to see from me is consistent catching, good route running, playmaking ability, making somebody miss, and making some cool, nice catches.
I'll take all of that. Now, hashtag one of us for Phoenix. You mentioned Minnesota's home.
Yes, sir.
So take us through it.
Yep,
Where's
tell us the
home?
story.
And bring us the journey.
Yeah, from New Hope, Minnesota.
Okay.
If you want to say Minneapolis, that's fine too.
I've been to New Hope.
Yep, it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Nice little, there you
Yeah.
go. Nice little area. Went to high school, Robbinsdale Cooper High School.
Okay.
Then went to North Dakota State University for 4.5 years.
Go Bison.
Yes, sir, go Bison.
And I said bison, not
Yeah,
bison.
see, you know
Yeah.
what you say. A lot of people say bison.
Nope.
I'm sorry, it's spelled
not
that
doing
way.
that to you,
No,
no.
you're seasoned. You're
Yes.
seasoned. 4.5 years there. Grad transfer to James Madison University with Coach Signetti before he left to Indiana. And then was out of football for a year. Was an elementary school teacher, tutor assistant for kinder through 6th grade.
Nice.
Didn't get picked
I
up.
think
after
that shows. I was
Yeah.
watching you with the youngsters
Yep.
prior to this interview. You've got it with kids.
Yeah, it's a blessing. Just to show that love and affection that those kids show you. Because I was once, little Lily over there. I was once one of her.
Yeah.
Just trying to be, involved within this pro football aspect.
So talk to me a little bit about Coach Signetti because that drew eyebrow raises right away.
Yep.
A couple years ago, it may not have. Obviously,
Right.
present time,
Yeah.
it's a different world. What's he like? Because we all see him in the spotlight now, but you literally have that. You knew him when.
Yes, sir. He's a football guy. I'm sure you guys have seen the reports on him and kind of what he may be as a person, and he's football through and through.
Yeah.
Doesn't say a lot of words, doesn't smile a lot, but he gets stuff done. And we had a great year. 2023 had our first bowl game in JMU history. He obviously ended up leaving us before the bowl game to Indiana, which was kind of crazy, but we made do.
Right.
And I just learned a lot from him and just how to be an efficient team and efficient offense, which I learned as well from North Dakota State, obviously, but it was awesome.
No doubt. So you talk about learning. Duluth is about to learn what this league is all about Friday night.
Yes, sir.
What have you been learning since joining it? Because it sounds like everybody's got a learning curve that's a different size, but everybody's learning something new every day, I feel like.
Yeah, so I came from the IFL. I was with the Las Vegas Nighthawks 5 games into the season this year. Wanted something a little bit different for myself, so got picked up here. And so far I've loved it. And, from coming from the IFL to the AF1, similar. There's really good talent here. A lot of ex-NFL, CFL, UFL guys, Division I guys from college. Like, it's the talent is real. Like I don't know how else to put it. So playing my first game was 2 weeks ago against the Michigan Arsenal. Didn't know what to expect. They all can play. Like these guys are legit football players.
Right.
Are obviously my team, and then the Michigan Arsenal, just legit guys that know how to play ball.
So again, it's Brian Prudhomme, Dave Cook, talking with Phoenix Sproles. And Dave, I got to tell you this. I'm so glad he's from Minnesota because it saved me the question of, okay, you went from Vegas to Duluth. Are you okay? Go ahead.
He said, yes, I stopped at home on my way here.
Once people caught up on that on social media, they're like, you left Vegas? Like Vegas.
I was going to say Caesar's Palace, Duluth. I
man.
digress.
It was just I just had to explain to him what my situation was. At the end of the day, it's a business. And
Well, where I was going to go with it was, okay, so he's played for Signetti.
Yep.
He's been in Vegas.
Yep.
Are you going to help Fernando Mania, apparently?
apparently, yeah.
Just ring.
Yes, I just got to make that call.
Mr. Brady, I'm here.
Like, please, like I'm down the street from you.
We've got Phoenix on line 1. Take the call.
The thing is, as I was thinking when you were talking about going back into the schools and helping elementary schools while you were stepping off the college football field and not quite knowing where you're pro, this is a movie.
Yeah.
This is a movie. So tell me how you stayed focused on your football career when you've kind of taken that first detour into the working world.
Honestly, it was probably one of the hardest things I've had to do, being a pretty good football player for most of my life, and then, having all the success in college, Division I, and then nothing. No NFL, no mini camp invite. I don't like to say it, but I'm Darren Sproles' cousin too, and my stepdad played in the NFL. I have NFL pedigree in my family, and I proved that I could play at that level. So I was a little hurt for a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt.
I just wanted a chance. Didn't matter who played in the NFL in my family. I felt like I deserved at least an attempt, at least a mini camp, at least an attempt to show what I could do.
Right.
And didn't get it. It's fine. That's life. You don't get everything that you want. Was out of football for about 4 weeks or about 4 months. Didn't do a thing. Was a little bit in a depression, like Boyd said. And you know what? I got back on my feet. I said, I want to do this. This is still what I want to do. Got the job at the elementary school. Trained every day after the elementary school. Elementary was 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I trained from 2:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday, and took off day Saturday and Sunday, and did that until I got an opportunity in the IFL.
I really hope my wife's not listening to this because she's a second grade teacher, and I know that she's not training after 2 o'clock.
Well, those days are long.
right.
As a parent, I'm thinking this. At some point, there had to be a parent watch you and say, hey, would you like to have this become a youth camp? Because 100%. We could pay you a couple of dollars
100%.
to help you.
100%. I've had, it's actually crazy you say that. I don't do the school stuff anymore. Obviously, football season 6 months.
Right.
Yep.
I'm a sports performance coach at my training facility called Game Face Training in Salem Park, Minnesota. We take ages from 6, 7 to pro level athletes. So now I'm doing that, but training them in a sport.
That's cool.
It's awesome.
Yep, that's really cool.
Well, not to mention, Dave, that he answered your first question when I told you last week, hey, they've got Phoenix Sproles. Word is we've got to meet him. First question you asked me in the car last weekend, is he related to Darren? I said, one of the things we have to find out.
Gotta find out.
So I have to go that direction because I remember Darren Sproles super well.
Yep.
As a Vikings fan, the memories may not have been fond because he kind of ate us up a little bit.
It did.
But how much of his game is in you? And if not him, what NFLer do you think you emulate a little bit?
Yeah. I've always wanted to say I could compare myself to Darren, but I can't. He, at 5'6", he's doing things that I wish I could do. Definitely a lot faster than me, a little quick, twitchier. And he was solid at 5'6", 190.
He's a brick.
That's a bowling ball that can move. That's kind of scary. So I wouldn't even sound like him at all as a player. But who I compare myself to is actually a friend of mine, Adam Thielen. Receiver for the a former receiver for the Minnesota Vikings and Steelers and Panthers, I guess I'd say.
A pit stop in Carolina.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe not the fastest, maybe not the biggest, maybe not the strongest, but he ran efficient routes. He caught every pass, and he was reliable.
So you didn't get the minicamp invites, the success beyond D1 that you probably deserved.
Yep.
So the easy cliche would be chip on shoulder.
100%.
I would assume it's there, and how much does it help?
I think that's why I'm still in the Arena League. Everyone in the Arena League, for the most part, wants to get out. Not that it's a bad thing, but we want to play outside.
Stepping stone. Yeah.
Correct. We want to get to the highest level we possibly can reach. Considering I'm back for year 2 in the Arena League, that's a chip on my shoulder. I'm still making it. I'm running into walls.
Yep.
I'm falling on the ground. I'm jumping over walls for a football. Why? Because I want to do it, and that's how much whatever you want to say about it. That's what I want to do.
So how does the business work now then? Because you guys are playing right up to that point of teams calling for minicamps.
Yeah.
So how does that work as a player?
So that's a great question. I've seen a couple guys do it, actually. I've seen a lot of CFL guys, because CFL's in camp right now. But guys will get cut from the CFL, and they'll hop right back into the arena leagues. I know in the IFL, I already know a couple guys that already joined IFL teams. I think there's some guys that have hopped into the AF1 from the CFL2 that just got released. And they're in their preseason, and they'll be in their season. And I'm sure they'll let guys come anytime and at any point then. NFL-wise, like you said, minicamps already passed. OTAs are going on right now, and then they'll be in their training camp as well. So if you're that much of a guy in the arena, you get a shot, I'm pretty sure they'll find a way to get you in those camps in the NFL.
All right, so Phoenix Sproles is our newest guest. Everyone that we've had will tell us nothing about the game plan leading up to the game, whether that's the Monsters game plan or tell us nothing about what the opponent brings on film.
Yep.
Isn't going to stop me from trying with the new guy. What do we know about the Nashville Cats, and what does that bring to the Monsters game plan? What, if anything, can you share with us?
Yeah, there's really no secrets. I'm obviously not going to expose
that. Is a different world.
At least it's a different answer.
Yeah, well, you watch. Everyone watches film. I'll talk about the team we're playing, the Nashville Cats. They're obviously a good team. They do a lot of things well. Very well coached team. We're gonna have to play good monster football that we will play to beat them. And they do things the right way. They're locking on their keys.
Right.
They don't get beat deep a lot in the secondary from a defensive standpoint. So we just got to make plays and do what we're coached to do, and we'll be fine.
So let's talk real quick about this team then. And we've talked about it. We talked about it earlier today. We've talked about it in the past. We've heard the phrase championship culture thrown around this 5-foot spot where we are right now all season long. Yep. So coming in from the outside, looking at this now for a couple of months, what makes this a championship organization?
I think easily, one, it comes from up top, the ownership. Jake does a tremendous job of bringing good guys in, bringing good coaches in, treating us well, and just looking out for his players. And I think it starts up top there. And like I said, the coaching staff, everyone loves the coaching staff. They're good guys, helping us out each and every day to prepare us for what we have to do, who we're going to play. And then the players. I think we're a tight-knit group. I just got here, and I'm already cool. Got my guy Aiden over here. We've been talking about...
Everybody makes friends with Aiden.
Aiden's a good dude.
I'm going to add myself to that list. We need the Monsters tagline to be "You'll love our kicker." But
no, honestly, we just started. We know the same people. We just started clicking. We wear the same incredible legs. I'm getting shout outs right now. Incredible leg sleeves. What else? Lululemon and Hyper Ice, Normatec boots. We just clicked in that way. And
he's going to get us more
awesome.
sponsors. Shout out to Sanju and shout out to Comfort Systems. But Phoenix is going to get us more.
There's always a spot.
Let's do it.
When I said the rising of the Phoenix, I didn't know it knew no bounds in terms of category.
We try to help everything.
Yeah, that is outstanding. I have to ask you this because I've heard the narrative or the mantra of playing monster football.
Yep.
And it's cliche, but cliches are that for a reason.
Yep.
Tell me what the hallmarks of monster football means. What is it to play monster football?
Right, and again, I'm fairly new, but this is my first week of full practice.
Right.
I came in 2 weeks ago, walked through and played the game right away, so I didn't really get to know anyone. So this is my first full week, and from what I understand, monster football is playing hard, playing till the whistle, locking in on your assignment, doing your job. Don't do more than what you have to do. Everyone does their job. We'll be successful.
So being a new guy, first full week of practice, but being a target for a quarterback in a win a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
What was that like? Because we talk about developing chemistry. Your chemistry goes to, hey, I'm Phoenix. We're going to roll together.
Exactly.
How does that develop quickly?
Yeah, and that was the thing. This was all new for me. I've always been on a team. I'm on a team for a whole year. So coming in, that was game 4 that they played in Michigan. Literally getting on a bus. Didn't know anyone. Didn't know what was going on. But I was roomed with the quarterback, with Javante. And we were in the room. We missed.
That couldn't have been an accident.
Couldn't have been.
No.
They knew what they were doing.
Right.
We didn't go to dinner that night. We sat down and drew up all the plays on the play call sheet on my iPad, and we went through every single play. And I learned the playbook in that very moment and played the next day.
How difficult is that? Because I learned nothing in 24 hours. I learned nothing in 24 days sometimes, but that's a different topic altogether. But we know that football players are cerebral specifically to that. You get a playbook and you know it. But what does that entail? I mean, there had to be some fear of, oh, no, I ran the wrong route. Or I went in and it's an out.
And I did. You probably wouldn't have even noticed it because I just played it off, had fun with it. And they kind of knew that, too, throwing me out there. They're like, we know you're not going to be perfect, but be perfect. Be perfect. And it's just football's football. Concepts are concepts. The only thing that's kind of hard is different verbiage. So what in Vegas, we had the same plays as that they have here in the Monsters, but it's called differently here.
Sure.
So now I got to flip my brain around. We might call something left that they call something right here. Now I have to flip that around too. So it's just learning those type of things and just I have a photogenic memory, so that's why I draw things up. I look at it, I see it, I know what I have.
See, I'm not the only one. People rip me as a play-by-play guy for having the photographic memory because I'll see a jersey number once and I've got it, but it does help. The thing that Duluth is going to have to adjust to from the previous team is we got nets, we got kicking. Mm-hmm. God love Aiden, but we got kicking.
Yep.
We've got live balls off walls, and nets is completely different. Yep. As a receiver, is that good or bad? Because there's a good of saying, hey, the ball's always live, I'm going after it. Yep. But at the same time, if the ball's always live, so are you. How much contact are you taking?
Honestly, that's a sacrifice we make for the sport. It's what we know what we're signing up for. Obviously, we don't wish to jump over a wall and land on cement, but for that ball, us receivers, we'll go do it. And we know 9 times out of 10, we'll jump over the walls and the defensive backs won't for the most part. So we just got to go up and get it.
Man, it's pregame. I want to see this guy play.
Right, I'm there.
Can we play now?
Come on.
We can't play just yet, but it is coming for Duluth. And this is going to be exciting. I think the fans are going to be in for a treat either way.
Well, I think that's what we've heard again today, and Phoenix just being the exclamation point at the end of the sentence rather than a period, about how much this team is going to mean to our community. There are how invested the team already is in our youth and in the families, and how much fun it's going to actually be to see all this put on the field.
Well, and being an obvious community guy, you've talked about the communities you've been in and being with kids, obviously, and a hallmark of Duluth indoor football has been branching out into the community. Now you just got here, but how much of that are you looking forward to doing?
A lot, actually, and especially being from Minnesota, I know like I could tie in with some of those kids that maybe had sports events in the Minneapolis area or whatever, knowing that I'm from there and I'm a professional too, so you guys can do it too. So I'm excited to get out in those schools. He's
had to have those kids after hours saying, buddy, if you don't start working on the stuff we're going to work in now, you're not playing.
I was going to say, he understands.
We've had that exact conversation.
He understands
100%.
The student angle of student athletes.
This is Jen's favorite player right now.
Round of applause for Phoenix Sproles. We're not done with him, though. We're going to stick around with him and have him do one more. I talked about the rising of the Phoenix. He's going to rise for one more segment. Stick around. We'll be right back. Final segment of Monsters on the Mic. Time flies when you're having fun. We have had fun today.
We have.
Thanks again to Comfort Systems in Sanju, where the cars are. It's the only reason we're able to do this show, besides, of course, Lyric Kitchen Bar, because that's where we are as we do this show.
Yeah, Lyric really takes care of us, too. They bring out some top-notch food. Our intern even ordered some for himself.
He did.
Tonight. He wanted a little extra cheese curd.
He's learning the ropes.
Tonight, yep.
Tanner understands
and
life of a media member.
It's one of the places I can come eat. They have a great gluten-free section and people that know how to make it.
Again, so as we do this throughout the season, because now that we're going to get to be home, we want more of Duluth to show out and do this. We have a live recording of the show on Wednesdays. It will air on Thursdays. And then it's the pregame to the pregame. So you got to pay attention to when the game day is, because it's Friday this week, Saturday the week after. There's a Monday in there.
There's been some Sundays.
There's all kinds of calendar work.
Yeah, but we'll lead you into the game. That's this is where the fans get to know the players. So let's continue our conversation.
I was going to say we're going to continue to get to know Phoenix Sproles, and there's so many directions we could go. But with the newness of you being here, but not new to the position, but still, every time I've talked to a wide receiver that plays arena football, I want to talk about tempo. Because there's not a ton of space. There's not a lot of ways to get open. If you're going to get open, you better do it quick. What is the biggest thing that you have to have, pardon the Michigan pun, in your arsenal as a wide receiver?
Oh, that was actually a good one.
Thank you. No kids, but dad jokes for days.
In your arsenal.
Yes.
A lot. Like you said, small space. And I think that gives you an edge when you eventually do get that opportunity to go back outside, NFL, whatever, outside football. You got to get open in small spaces. How do you do it? You put your foot in the ground and you go. There's not a lot of breaking down. And, there's not enough time for that in the arena. And to create space, you got to put your foot in the ground. You got to roll, and you just got to speed cut everything and beat your man across the field or whatever you're doing.
Well, and that's kind of where I was going to go with that too, because the word of the day, I feel like Sesame Street or Mr. Rogers, the word of the day has been tendencies when we've talked about this league, but lining up across from a DB, you have a split second to notice a tendency. Is 100%. There one?
I mean, depending on what route you have, say you have an in-breaking route, you're going to have to release inside as fast as you can, because if you try to go outside and kind of slip back inside, it's going to take too long. You can get walled off to the wall because you're running outside of him. You can just push you to the wall. You're dead already.
Yeah.
Javonte's not looking at you. He's going to throw a touchdown somewhere else. So if I got an in-breaking route, I got to get inside. I'm getting inside, and I'm running and putting my foot on the ground and just running away from that guy.
Of course. So let's talk about the route tree real quick. According to you,
Yep.
do you have a favorite route that you're going, okay, this is my money-making route right here? And then let's be honest. Do you have a route where you're going, oh, here we go. I got to do this no matter what?
Yeah. I think every receiver has those two options. I know for me, my go-to route that I ran a lot in the slot is really just an over route, just running an over route, finding open space. Obviously, if there's a zone, you just find open space. And if it's man, you just have to run away from your man. That's it. That's like 10 to 12 yards across the field. Try to win, and usually you do win. And then a route that's like, I don't want to do it, but it's on the sheet is probably like honestly, it's actually funny because I ran this against Michigan and out and up because usually those don't go too well. Usually guys don't really bite on that stuff anymore.
And then you're out of the play.
But yeah, exactly. And they push you to the wall and then you're cooked. But it worked against the Michigan Arsenal, ran it out and up, and touchdown. There you have it.
Yeah, rumor is that Michigan's home field is actually ours now, but I digress.
One of the things that I wanted to ask on that same line, and maybe this is the answer, when you're a receiver, often you're setting up a future route.
Yep.
How often can you do that in this league? Because you said everything's much quicker.
Yep.
Can you set up a future route?
Honestly, I don't think I've even done that. Even last year, I didn't play too much with Vegas, but I was mostly a backup receiver. But when I did get in, I didn't have time. You don't have time because outside you might run a go, and then you might run an 8-yard stop. So that 8-yard stop, you're selling like you're gonna run a go. You're digging your head down. You're sprinting. You're stopping at 8 yards. Ball. In this league, you don't have that kind of cushion. You don't have that time. You don't have that kind of time. So really, if you can do it, great. Depends on your quarterback timing and how your offense operates. But for the most part, you're just getting
one cut
open.
and go.
Yeah, one cut and go and get open.
So 2 weeks ago, you'd been here for a blink.
Yep.
2 weeks have passed. You've been here longer.
Yep.
Coming into Friday nights, how much better do you think the chemistry, the timing, everything is going to be?
A lot better. I actually know where I'm supposed to be. Like I said, you might not be able to
Everybody
tell.
knows my name now.
Yeah. It's a bonus. But, I was running some routes my first game, and I wasn't in the right spot, but I still got the ball because I was open. So now I know where to be, so I should be even more open than I was 2 weeks ago. So hopefully, those things kind of click for all of us, and just being around the offense, learning how the offensive line works.
Sure.
Quarterback, his cadence. My first time hearing him say set go was in the game. Now I've heard it all week at practice. If we want to go on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we can do that. And then getting more comfortable with my other receivers, and they're helping me out.
Being a receiver who's playing for a head coach that has been a receiver.
Yep.
What does that mean to you? What's that been like?
That's what you as a I would say offense, but as a receiver, selfishly, that's what you want because he knows kind of what type of receiver you are, what you can and cannot do. Not that none of us receivers can't do anything, but he knows. I'm a shorter, faster guy. Maybe I can run a double move route and maybe a little bit quicker than a taller guy. Who knows? But he knows what to look for in that, and he sets all of us receivers up to be successful.
Shorter, faster guy. To me, that yells kick returner.
Oh, sorry.
Is that part of your game now, or something you want to be part of your game?
Whatever can help me, whatever can help this team win games, and whatever can help me get outside is what I'm going to do. I know I was throwing back there against Michigan a little bit. I was throwing back there, and I think I'll be throwing back there this week. Who knows? But I'm ready for it. I know it's in my bloodline, so I can return if I need to.
So a lot of times receivers will be described as great route runners, precise route runners.
Yep.
That's something we hear a lot. Something that people that haven't played the position really can understand.
Yeah.
What does it mean? What does it take to be a good route runner?
Being at your spot at the time you're supposed to be. Not doing too much. I don't know how
hard is that to be disciplined? Because you think the 5-yard out, it's like, well, I went 6 and I'll get out here. I'll get out here eventually.
Ball's already out. So quarterbacks are taught, every route has like a different type of, you see a 3-step drop, a 5-step drop. At that third step, that ball has to be out. If you're still 10 yards down the field, incomplete pass. And that's why it's all about timing. At
best.
Not
a turnover, yeah.
Exactly. Especially in this league, in the Arena League, that's probably going the other way.
Right.
So timing is everything. Being where you're supposed to be at. Don't do anything extra. And just stay on your feet, running clean routes. Don't slip, don't fall.
Isn't it something how, we're taught 110%, but in most things, perfect is 100%, and that other 10% just seems to get in the way.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about the business.
Yeah.
And when you have youth coming to your company, working on their athletic training, how do you, maybe it is only one question, how do you feed the flame? I mean, they want to take the path you've taken, but then they're back of their minds, they want to take it one step further.
Yep.
How do you feed that fire?
We really just honestly, that's what we love, because that shows how much dedicated they are. And I've had multiple kids that, they saw what I did in high school, college, whatever, professional. They want to outdo me.
Yes.
I said, perfect. That's what I want for you. I want you to do better than me. If I'm not
Like a
helping
proud
you do that,
father.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
literally it's a feeling that I think that's why I love doing what I do, because I get to help. I get to a little part in this kid's success, of him or her being the next professional athlete or even the best high school athlete. So it's
Sounds
awesome.
like you and me when we're talking about folk. I have a sign that says impact, one person every day, doesn't it?
I like that.
Absolutely. So how do you get kids to focus on the short term or the next step versus 12 steps later? Because anybody at any age can come up to you and say, I want to be a professional athlete. And a lot of them want it to be tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
No,
How do you get that focus on the next thing in front of you, not way down the road, but at the same time, don't give up on the big dream?
And that, like you said, that's one of the hardest things to teach kids, especially nowadays. Kids see the success, but they don't see what goes into it. They don't see, okay, you're in 8th grade. You need to be the best 8th grader you can be. Don't worry about trying to be better than the senior in high school. No one's looking at you right now.
Right.
You need to be the best 8th grader you can be.
How much does that bother you? Because you said nobody's looking at you right now, but we're in a society where kids are committing in the 7th grade.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they are being looked at
Yes.
U10 camps.
Yeah, that is
Does that
true.
bother you as a performance coach?
I mean, if kids get offers that early, great. At least you know that you have a place where you can go when high school's over. But who's to say you're going to be that same player in the next 5 years from now? That's why I don't like when kids say, "Oh, I want offers." Let's just worry about you passing your math test first in
I was
8th grade.
just going to ask you about,
and then we'll get to the sports
I was
stuff.
going to ask you about tying that in.
Yeah.
How do you tie the education part into your performance?
So the kids that we have are like even at our regular training facility, we're branched out to a couple high schools in Minneapolis area too. So I work with Edina football a lot. They just won the state championship, and so I work with their varsity football team. We don't we have a good communication with the coaches. They don't go to class. They don't have good grades. You're not training with us. I'm sorry, but that your school comes first. Like you don't. I could get into any Division I college because I had a 3.8 GPA. So I could have got a, it's bad to say, but I could have got a 10 on the ACT score, and I still would have been eligible for.
I think you get more than that for putting your name on it. But
Exactly.
yes.
Yes, exactly.
I know that too well.
Yep. See, and that's just because I did school. I did the right things in school. I had good grades, and I knew that to be a Division I football player, I just had to have good grades and obviously pay attention in school.
So I'm in my 40s. Dave's in his 50s. We did not grow up in the social media era.
Yep.
Kids and athletes today are.
Yep.
There are goods to it when used properly.
Yep.
There are horrible bads to it when it's not.
That's a great
Your
question.
take on it?
I'm like you said, there's pros and cons, and I actually my first offer was because of Twitter. I was putting out my highlights.
How many
my
times did
film.
you exclaim on Twitter after a great conversation with Coach so-and-so?
I am blessed to receive.
Yeah.
I am blessed to receive an offer from
This is a scheduled tweet.
Yes, and that's kind of how it is now. And for that, pros, perfect. A lot of coaches are on it. Great. It's a good way to put out your highlights, your workouts, whatever it may be. Cool, awesome. The cons, kids are so worried about what looks good on social media. You're not that good when it's game time.
Right.
So your drills look good, but your varsity highlights aren't living up to those drills. So now you're contradicting yourself. So pros and cons to it. I would just tell kids, put your varsity film out. Obviously, put any workout you want to on social media, but just wait till you get that first varsity film and you're making plays and you're doing the right things and you're helping your team win. Put those highlights on.
All right, so tongue-in-cheek follow-up for social media.
Yep.
Pre-game / locker room TikToks.
Yeah.
Good or bad? Because they're fun to watch.
guys
But
do-
should we be doing those
Did you
or
guys do
not?
research on me? I've done a couple of those in college.
Maybe I saw one or two.
I was going to say. I think as long as you're locked in and you know your assignment on the field or court, wherever sport you're in, great, I'm all for it. Just don't let it be a distraction. Don't let it be a distraction.
All right, so I asked this question of a guest 2 weeks ago. Locking in pregame.
Yep.
Every athlete's got a playlist, got a pregame superstition or tradition or both.
Yep.
Phoenix Sproles is
Music, for surely music. I always have to have kind of like my favorite artist right now is Rod Wave. So it's a lot of just
it's more popular than
Yeah.
I had heard previously.
Yeah,
He's
so-
had a good month here.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I listen to music by him. I've gotten, it's cliche, but a lot more Michael Jackson I've been listening to, which I listened to
You're
as a
not going
kid.
to get an argument here
Yeah.
at all.
Yep, and I love listening to his albums. And what else do I listen to? think Michael Jackson, Rod Wave, and then just like softer music that's not too rah bang bang.
Sure.
Like that's fine closer to game day, but like up until like I'm going out to the field, it's all that type of music.
Of course. So once you're there, are you the clear the mechanism guy who hears nothing, or are you the I want it as loud in here as possible and I'm going to hype up the crowd?
You know, it's more of a feel. Like if the crowd's giving me that energy, I'm all for it. Let's do it. I'm gonna pump up the crowd, rah. I'll do that. But then if it's like a little quiet, I'll probably be quiet. But like I'll still do what I'm supposed to do. So
Sure.
I just adapt to whatever's going on.
So you said quiet. You seem like a leader.
Yeah.
Vocal leader or example leader or both?
Example for sure. I hate just yelling things, talking things. I wanted to show you I'm about it. And then if you see me doing it and you do the same thing, I've done my job. But I can be a vocal leader if I need to be.
No, I think if you're listening to us, and if you're hearing us, you are. I think
That's hard to argue.
What we're seeing is what leadership looks like, because we're not talking about just the next game. We're not talking about just this season. We're talking about the future. We're talking about kids coming up, and you know how important that is to me. And the idea that we have somebody on our team right now who's so focused on the youth, trying to make them better, I mean, that's another reason to come and watch.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What's the most difficult thing about your position? Because people who watch this, my catchphrase has been, the NFL and the WWE had a baby, and here we are.
Yep, boom.
And it looks fun, but it looks violent.
Yep.
So other than trying to get out of it alive, what's the biggest challenge each game?
Probably just like, I would say just like the tempo of the game. It's a lot faster. You know, we running clock. We are running a lot of plays in a fast amount of time. We are going, running before the ball snaps. So we're running more than the average receiver does. So just making sure our bodies are healthy and we're ready to go for game day. The physical side and the mental side, just as a receiver, I know Javante's probably way worse, but you have to know all the routes, the concepts, where you line up, who's on the ball, who's off the ball, who's in high motion. If I'm getting played, if I'm getting pressed, do I convert this route? If we're in zone, do I stop kind of in the little dead hole spot on a cover two look? Like there's so many things flying through your head as you're going. It's tough, but I can't complain. Every position has their cons.
That's crazy. I'm so glad that I'm just the PA guy. Who has the ball? Who made the tackle? I'm done. So let's end with this. Speaking of being done, should we put him on the spot a little bit?
We should.
So wide receiver. Dave and I love to do Mount Rushmores.
Yep.
Okay.
Your Mount Rushmore of wide receivers of all time would consist of?
Okay, first bad question. How many?
Bad question.
How many? Four. Okay.
Okay, all right. I thought you meant I had a bad question.
No,
Yes.
bad question. How many guys are on?
You get four.
Four. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes.
Adam Thielen.
Okay.
Well, I'm a little bit younger, so you guys aren't gonna maybe not like my pick.
He just very politely called us old. Go ahead.
Adam Thielen. I love Justin Jefferson. I love his game.
Okay.
I'm loving Jackson Smith and Jigba's game.
Yep.
I'm
Okay.
loving the way he's running routes. That's 3. And for old school purposes, Jerry Rice, 4.
All right. I can't
not bad.
argue with
Can't
really
argue with
any
it.
of those. I'll tell you this. Mount Rushmore of Monsters on the Mic guests, Phoenix Sproles.
Right
Round
there.
of applause for this guy right here.
Appreciate
That'll
you
do
guys.
it for another episode. Show out Duluth, Nashville, and Duluth at Amsoil.
Right
We'll see
in
you
there.
then.